Let's face it, in a high stakes industry where a single compliance blind spot can cost you millions in fines, the hype around autonomous AI agents needs a major reality check. Because here's the hard truth: a brilliant AI brain without a secure system of record behind it isn't a solution. It's a massive regulatory liability. Hello, I'm Dominic Susek, CEO of Global Radar. Earlier this month, a major shift occurred that will have a massive impact on how AI is deployed in compliance. And I wanted to take a moment to share exactly what it means for the future of your organization. On May 5th, 2026, Anthropic CEO Dario Amodei walked onto a stage in New York and unveiled a suite of 10 specialized AI financial agent templates. The announcement sent shockwaves through the fintech sector. Within hours, the headlines were all asking the same question: is this the end of traditional enterprise software? If you run a compliance function inside a bank or an insurance carrier, that question matters. So let's answer it directly. The short answer is no. In fact, beneath the market anxiety, the reality is the opposite. This launch is excellent news for established RegTech providers, companies like Global Radar, and for the institutions that depend on them. Anthropic has not replaced your system of record. They've handed it a massive infrastructure upgrade. They've built a powerful new engine. But established platforms still have to drive the vehicle safely. Let me walk you through why. What Anthropic actually released first? Let's strip away the marketing gloss and look at what Anthropic actually shipped. At its core, this release is a highly sophisticated reference architecture. It gives enterprise developers blueprints and data connectors to automate middle office and back office financial workflows. The rollout spans three main categories. The first is analysis and front office work, tools that auto-build valuation models, draft investment pitch books, and parse dense corporate earnings transcripts. The second is accounting and operations, workflows designed to accelerate statement auditing and automate month-end ledger reconciliations. The third, and the one most relevant to this audience, is risk and compliance. That includes market research templates and, most notably, a dedicated KYC or Know Your Customer screener. To make these agents functional, Anthropic built integrations into the Microsoft 365 ecosystem and connected to premium enterprise data providers: Moody's, Dun& Bradstreet, FactSet, and S&P Capital IQ. Now, the KYC and sanction screening template is getting most of the attention. That's understandable. Identity verification, onboarding, and anti-money laundering protocols are some of the most expensive bottlenecks banks and insurers face today. In theory, the agent reads an onboarding packet, extracts the data, cross-references it with global sanctions lists through an API, and flags anomalies. Clean, fast, automated. In practice, dropping that raw template straight into a production environment without a specialized compliance layer wrapped around it creates immediate structural and legal liabilities. Let me give you three. The first is the forensic blind spot. Claude is excellent at answering the question, what does this document say? It is completely unequipped to answer, is this document authentic? Extracting text from a passport scan or a corporate registry filing is trivial for a frontier language model. But spotting microtext alterations, font mismatches, digital tampering, or sophisticated deepfake selfies requires specialized forensic machine learning models. In an era of rampant synthetic identity fraud, a raw language model is effectively blind to advanced document forgery at the point of ingestion. The second issue is point-in-time checks versus continuous life cycles. Anthropic's KYC template runs as a transactional point-in-time check. It triggers when a client signs up or buys a policy. But regulatory compliance isn't a transaction. It's a living, continuous loop. An out-of-the-box template doesn't automatically rescreen your entire client database when global sanctions lists update overnight. It doesn't dynamically adjust a customer's risk score based on changing transaction patterns or multi-layered premium payments over a 5-year period. The third issue is the missing enterprise workflow layer. Compliance teams do not work inside a command line or a raw API console. They need a secure, permissioned, user-friendly interface. An agent blueprint does not give you the case management dashboards where human analysts assign alerts, request enhanced due diligence, document manual overrides, and log final operational decisions. This is exactly why financial service providers and insurance carriers are not going to scrap their compliance architecture for raw AI APIs. Think of it this way: Claude is a brain. Established platforms like Global Radar, NASDAQ Verifin, and NICE Actimize are the entire nervous system, the memory, and the defensive shield. Institutions rely on dedicated RegTech platforms because those platforms solve the messy, real world execution problems that a general AI model cannot touch. Start with proprietary data matching at scale. Passing millions of raw customer names through an expensive large language model to check against global watch lists is slow, computationally inefficient, and cost prohibitive. Dedicated platforms use multi layered matching algorithms, combining advanced phonetics like Metaphone 3 with distance metrics like Jaro Winkler to screen out 70 to 90% of false positives before AI reasoning ever enters the room. Then there's the legacy integration problem. Banks and insurance companies run on decades old fragile core systems and highly siloed ERPs. Platforms like Global Radar have built native integration paths into core systems and cloud environments such as Salesforce. Expecting an internal IT team to securely wire a raw AI agent into legacy database infrastructure from scratch while maintaining absolute data privacy and encryption standards is an engineering nightmare. And finally, the one every compliance officer in this audience already knows by heart, there's the regulatory audit trail. If a regulator conducts an audit, whether that's FinCEN, FINRA, the SEC, or a state insurance commissioner, the answer the AI thought it looked fine is not a defensible answer. That sentence results in multi-million-dollar penalties. Specialized software platforms act as the definitive system of record. They log every document version, every database query, every human override, and every historical risk adjustment in an immutable, compliant audit trail that can be handed directly to examiners. The path forward: integration, not replacement. So here's the honest read on the path forward. The narrative that frontier AI labs are about to wipe out vertical software entirely misses the point of how enterprise technology actually scales. Anthropic has not made enterprise compliance platforms obsolete. They have given those platforms a massive upgrade. The future of financial and insurance compliance is one where systems of record orchestrate frontier models behind the scenes. Instead of your internal development team trying to build an unvalidated compliance application from scratch using Anthropic's blueprints, platforms like Global Radar serve as the secure, validated vehicle to operationalize those exact capabilities. Inside an established end to end platform, Claude can be used for what it does best: instantly untangling complex, multi layered corporate structures to identify ultimate beneficial owners, or auto drafting comprehensive transaction narratives for suspicious activity reports. Meanwhile, the platform maintains absolute control over the data privacy layer, the user interface, the continuous monitoring loops, and the ultimate regulatory audit trail. Anthropic has built a brilliant new engine for global commerce, but established enterprise compliance platforms remain the driver, the chassis, and the steering wheel. That's the part of the story the headlines missed, and it's the part that matters most to the institutions you protect. Thank you for listening. If you'd like to learn more about this important issue, check out the Global Radar blog at globalradar.com/blog, or check out our YouTube channel and subscribe for regular updates. Thank you.